give life.
You give life. You are love. You bring light to the darkness. You give hope. You restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. Pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. And all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. And all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you,
It's not just a story, it's a living, breathing, walking testimony of a God so good he'd leave his home in glory for the world he loved, for the world that he so loved. Hey, it's not just a story. Yeah. I believe in the life of Jesus. I believe that he conquered death. I believe in the resurrection. I believe he's coming back again. I believe that his spirit's with us. I believe that he gives us power. I believe that he is the Son of God. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe in the life of Jesus. I believe it. I
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all. This extraordinary artist is back with us again. Mr. Clark will be with us a lot between now and September. And I'll tell you something very cool. I've commissioned an original tune for us to sing together from Brian that we will debut here the first Sunday in September, and we'll sing it every Sunday of September. It's the first time I've told Jan this, too. Communication's not my strong point, I guess. But anyway, Brian's writing a song for our congregation for the month of September, which will be great fun. So let's please welcome back Brian Clark.
Thank you, Steve. So this is like a sing-along chorus that well, it's one line that gets repeated 4 times. Pretty easy. Give me a word, give me a sign, show me what I look, tell me what I will find. What will I find? Lay me on the ground, fly me in the sky, show me what I look, tell me what will I find. What will I find? Yeah. Whoa, heaven, let your light shine down. 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 Love is in the water, love is in the air. Love isn't gonna look, tell me, will love be there? Will love be there? Teach me how to speak, teach me how to share. Teach me where to go, tell me now, will love be there? Will love be there? Yeah. Whoa, heaven, let your light shine down. 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 So give me a word, give me a sign, show me where to look, tell me what I might find. What will I find? Lay me on the ground, fly me in the sky, show me where to look, tell me what will I find. What will I find? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Here we go. Whoa, heaven, let your light shine down. 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 Thank you, thank you.
This works so much better if one turns it on. I know that. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you worked this into your holiday schedule. It's a beautiful day, a little warm, but pretty out. Sun is shining and all is well. So thank you, Brian, again for that beautiful song, and we're looking forward to more beautiful music from Brian, and also to that September song that we'll all learn together. So it'll be great. I just wanted to tell you that if you're here for the first time, we welcome you with open hearts. I want you to know that we are an absolutely inclusive spiritual community. And by that I mean we accept you wherever you are in your life's journey. You are absolutely, unequivocally welcome here. If we haven't met, I'm Reverend Jan Mourning, and it's my absolute honor to lead this wonderful community. If you are here for the first time, you should find a yellow guest information card in the pew in front of you. And if you have a moment and you would like to fill that out, we would be delighted to send you a year's subscription to our Daily Word magazine, which you will hear from in a few minutes. A beautiful little daily devotional. Doesn't take very long to read it, and it's a great way to start your day. So just fill that out and we'll make that happen. For those of you who are watching online, we absolutely offer you the same thing. We will send you a year's subscription to our Daily Word. If you just hit the Contact Us section on our website and fill in the information, we will make that happen. And if you're in need of prayer and you're here today in-house, we have a highly trained prayer chaplain, Karen Perkdal. You'll meet in a few minutes, and she would be delighted to pray with you about whatever's on your heart. If you're watching online, just hit the Need Prayer section, and we will hold you in prayer for 30 days. So before we go forward with the upcoming events today, I want to do it. I know this has been done, but I want to redo it here. A special thanks to all those who engaged in the Savers Spring clean out and donation drive. Once again, I know it's been said before, but I have to honor Julie Godey, who just did such an amazing leadership job on this. Let's give her a hand, honestly. Now, in the end, we didn't receive quite as much money as we had envisioned. Right now, we think it's around $476, and I know we're kind of shooting for 1,000, so we fell short of that. However, I've been thinking about looking for the good in it, as we always do in Unity, and there are many aspects of the good. For one thing, some of us got our closets and our cabinets cleaned out. Yay, myself included, and that's good. And really, we participated in what's known as the law of circulation, and that is what you give away then comes back to you. Maybe not in the same way, but it will come back to you 1,000-fold. And also, we were able to provide goods for people who really can buy them at a very, very reasonable price. People have been telling me how cheaply that they're sold there. So it was not a loss. We'll consider next year whether it was worth it or not, and we'll regroup. So highlighting some of the upcoming events, these are also available on our website, unitystl.org, on our Facebook page, and in the newsletter. And so today after service, the Community Service Ministry will meet in the adult classroom at noon, and we're grateful for the several new people who've joined that ministry. Our goal this year is to really not only collect things for people, that's noble, but also to get ourselves out in the community and actually work and meet people and really affect people in the community. And I'm so delighted that Hope Dotson, our licensed Unity teacher, has agreed to chair this, so that's great. And we're always looking for more ways to serve. So just keep that in mind. Book Club meets this week, Tuesday at 2 p.m. at Miss Sherry's. Carol Bullock is here, and she's in charge of that. If you want to ask her anything about it, everybody is welcome to that. And the other July dates are on the screen. The All Unity Picnic is still on for September 20th in Simpson Park. I simply could not fit it all on the slide this week, so we'll do better with that next week. And a couple more announcements. First of all, let's see. Oh, I know. Julie gave me this morning. I want to thank some people that some of whom are here, who participated in a great concert for the tornado relief. They raised $16,000, and they include Steve Schenkel, our own Steve Schenkel, Brian, thank you, Mitzi McDonald, and Jeremiah, Aaron Bodie, and Deborah Sharn. So let's give them a hand for really helping in the community. Great job. Great job, for sure. So today is the first, one other thing before this. Today we are starting our Unity Kids Back to School drive, and so on the table outside in the lobby, there are single strips of what they need the most. And I didn't see the big yellow school bus. Is it in the lobby yet? It'll be there next week, so you'll have a week to think about it and to grab one of those sheets that tells you what is needed. And I think this is going to run to the first week of August, but I'll let you know. So we have a little time on that. So I can't believe it's July already, but it is the first Sunday of the month. So we always participate in our vision, mission, and core values. So I'd like you to affirm them with me, and we start with the vision together. In oneness of spirit, we celebrate a world awakened to infinite possibilities. And our mission, we are a vibrant spirit. Let's start it again because I messed it up. We are a vibrant, inclusive spiritual community enriching lives through positive prayer, education, and service. That's who we are, and all we do here is really based on those core values. We keep them front and center all the time. So now, if you're willing and able, I invite everyone to stand for our first community song, Love is My Decision by Daniel Nahmad, led by Julie Godey and accompanied by Steve, and I thank you both. Whoops.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten the load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Good morning. My name is Karen Prechtel, and I'm your prayer chaplain for today. And I'm privileged and happy to have that honor. I'll be over in that corner afterwards to pray with you for anything that's on your heart. And as always, your prayers will be kept in confidence. So today's daily word is possibilities. I open my mind to limitless possibilities. Shall we say that together? I open my mind to limitless possibilities. There are limits to what my mind can imagine. I may find a challenge too big to overcome or too complex to work through. In the past, I might have avoided such challenges, but today I turn within for guidance. Within my inner sanctuary, I find infinite possibilities. For God, nothing is or ever could be impossible. As a spiritual being, I open my mind so that these possibilities can enter my imagination. With spiritual sight, I begin to apprehend what is possible. I emerge from my prayer time filled with inspiration and clarity, ready to take the steps necessary to make my vision a reality. I return again and again to the limitless fields of infinite possibilities, where I can claim divine ideas and know the presence and power of God is and through all things. And from Luke 1:37, for nothing will be impossible with God. And let's pray. Because we are divinely blessed by the sacred, we know that we have a limitless potential for all that we can imagine for our lives. All is possible with God. We are so grateful for this knowledge, and so it is. Amen.
You've been searching for answers in the world around you, for solutions your eyes never see. You say you need someone that you trust and understand, who knows you and can show you your way. Well, the inner light illuminates the night. It's like a beacon bright when we're lost or alone. Still soft voice, and we'll make our choice when we're lost, and we must be getting home. Knowing what to do, and when it's time to move, can keep you wide awake all night. 'Cause your mind is very good at coming up with endless choices, but when you need to know which one is probably right, well, the inner light illuminates the night like a beacon bright when we're lost or alone. Still soft voice helps us make our choice when we're lost. We must be getting home. From our tiniest decisions to the reason we exist, it's our compass, our true divining rod. And it will take us ever higher, put glory in our eyes as we caress the face of God. The night like a beacon bright when we're lost or alone. The inner light will make our choice when we're lost. We must be getting home when we're lost, and we must be getting home when we're lost, and we must be getting home.
Thank you, Brian. Perfect for today's message. That was great. So maybe some of you can relate to this. He, I'm having a bad day. She, what are you talking about? You haven't even gotten out of bed. And then he, when you've had as many as I've had, you can see them coming. So here's the good news, the spiritual truth. Within all of us, every single one of us, no exceptions, is the power to rise above any situation and to transform into the brightest, strongest version of who we are. So today we continue our series on the 12 powers, the 12 aspects of our divine nature that are also called gifts, inner resources, faculties, abilities, tools for transformation, and pathways to freedom. This week, in addition to Charles Fillmore, Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore's original book, which was published in 1930, we're going to look at 3 current sources, and they are Divine Audacity by Reverend Linda Martella Whitsitt, The 12 Freedoms by Reverend Phil Pearson, and Adventures in Resilience, Ignite the 12 Powers in You to Create a Radiant Life by Sharon Connors. Those will be our main sources. So throughout his ministry, Jesus recognized his Christ nature as the light of God. And he told his disciples and us, you know this, say it with me, please. You are the light of the world. Say it again. You are the light of the world. In Divine Audacity, Reverend Linda says, in this radical statement, Jesus reveals to you and to me that we have the same Christ light as he. Being the light means moment by moment, choice by choice, we absolutely can activate and live from what Brian just sang about, from our inner light, our Christ powers. Now, last week, if you were with us, we explored the power of love. I called it our superpower. It is our superpower. Today, we're going to turn to the power that is often paired with love, and that is the power of wisdom. Wisdom is defined as the highest form of spiritual knowing. Now, wisdom without love can be cold and calculating, and love without wisdom can be misguided. I'm sure you've all known overprotective parents who smother their children in the name of love. I had a great Aunt Alice who only had one son, and she had him very late in life. And honest to goodness, overprotective could have been her middle name. I'm not kidding. She just wouldn't let him out of her sight. Family members swear that she repeatedly told him, George, it's very important for you to learn to swim. All boys need to learn to swim, but don't you dare go near that pond until you know how. So it's not surprising that poor George grew up terrified of not only the water, but many other things. Wisdom and love together yield the best possible decisions. Not just try it singularly, but together. So James is the disciple who represents wisdom. He actually is the older brother of John, who represents love. Jesus referred to the two as the brothers of thunder, sons of thunder. I'm sorry, they were brothers, but he referred to them as the sons of thunder. Along with Peter, the three represent faith, love, and wisdom, and they become Jesus' inner circle. They're always with him, more than the other disciples. So the body location for wisdom is the solar plexus, right at the pit of the stomach, close to the heart, where love and wisdom can unite. The color for wisdom, like the light of the morning sun, is yellow. I bet you guessed that, right? It's yellow. And like all the powers, wisdom is just waiting for us to activate it. We have to be the activator. Now, I'd like to invite all of you to think of someone that you think of as having wisdom. And how would you describe this person? Is he or she what you might call worldly wise, maybe successful in business or having a career or community service, someone with a great deal of knowledge, well-read, full of information? Wisdom is often perceived as having knowledge and intellectual prowess, but our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, saw it differently. He writes, the intellect is concerned with facts, information, literal knowledge. It follows the letter of the law without any consideration of spirit. And he actually says the intellect is not wise. Wisdom is intuitive knowing. It is the voice of God within. Wisdom is our ability to use knowledge, to rely on spiritual discernment and moment-by-moment intuition. We're going to explore that as we go along. So our wisdom ability is really applicable in all dimensions of living: body, mind, and spirit. In body, we reach conclusions based on the senses and our experience. We see a sign that says a road's closed, and so we decide to take another way, a detour. We make a poor choice, and we sort of feel it right there in the pit of our stomach. In our minds, we analyze, appraise, and apply what seems, notice the word seems, what seems reasonable. Through spirit, we experience inspiration and intuition. Charles Fillmore says, wisdom is a deep inner knowing capacity. It's the flash of spiritual truth. Wisdom is most potent when integrated with all three, mind, body, and spirit. So Charles Fillmore defined the power of wisdom as judgment, discernment, and intuition. And Linda Martella-Whitsitt uses the same descriptors in her book. Originally, Charles Fillmore called this term judgment. But that term fell out of use in the late 20th century. Anybody guess why? Yeah, it became synonymous with condemning or being judgmental. And so it had kind of a negative connotation. One of my teachers, Reverend Paul Hasselbeck, often said, human beings are judgment machines. That's just the way we're created with our brains. And like all of our spiritual powers, wisdom can be used from spiritual consciousness or from human consciousness. In our skins, we do tend, unfortunately, to judge others based on, oh my goodness, appearances, race, gender, age, occupation, nationality, religion, social class, sexual orientation. My friend from Mississippi says she's judged because of her accent. She said, they think I'm stupid, she said, because my accent, which is horrible. And for example, an American woman clad in a bikini sees a Muslim woman in a burqa and thinks, everything covered but her eyes. What a cruel, male-dominated culture. At the same time, an Islamic woman looks at the American and thinks, nothing covered but her eyes. What a cruel, male-dominated culture. It has been said, and this is really an important part of it, don't judge somebody's story by the chapter you walked in on. There's always more about a person's motivations than we can see. So the problem with human judgment is it becomes our lens, our way of seeing the world. And we tend to focus on what we believe is true, and then we experience exactly what we focus upon. That's what we are attracted to. Some of you know the story about a man named Joe who had two neighbors move in at the same time, one on the right and one on the left. So one day, the neighbor on the left came over and he said to Joe, tell me, Joe, what are the people like in this neighborhood? I'm asking because in my old neighborhood, we had such beautiful, compassionate people, always willing to help one another. And Joe looked at him and he said, friend, that's exactly what you will find here. And so the neighbor went away elated. The next day, the other neighbor came over, and he asked exactly the same question, but his tone was a little angry. And he said, the reason I'm asking is the people in my old neighborhood were just a bunch of jerks and losers. We're glad to be away from them. And Joe looked him in the eye, and he said, friend, that's exactly what you're going to find here. And he did. That's the story. So Charles Fillmore wrote, when judgment is based on sense perception, conclusions are fallible and often condemn. If based on spiritual insights, they are safe. The word judgment also holds the negative connotation of judgment day, right? That fateful future time when we come before the final judge. And Charles Fillmore explains that this is all a mistranslation. The original text was in a day of judgment, not the day of judgment, but it was changed by the translators. And so instead of being a final future event, it really referred to ongoing life patterns, the patterns we have in this life. The truth is, and here's the truth, every day, really every moment, is a judgment day. And we are the judges. Linda Martella-Whitsitt writes, self-evaluation at the heart of wisdom in any situation allows us to ask these questions. First of all, what is the right thing for me to do? Not the convenient thing, not always the fast thing, but what is the right thing for me to do? Secondly, what is the truth with a capital T underlying the appearance? Because there's always more than our physical eyes take in. And thirdly, how does this situation call me to express my true nature? In other words, what is this challenge or this situation calling me to be? As David Williamson writes in a book called The 12 Powers in You, we sit on the bench in the courtroom of our minds. We make rulings, judgments, and choices. We hand down decrees, and they become our reality. This means, like the man in the initial story, I can wake up in the morning and I can say to myself, oh, I dread this day. I know it's going to be a terrible day. or no matter what we're anticipating for the day to behold, we can absolutely wake up and say to ourselves, it's a beautiful day in my consciousness. Paul Hesselback in all of his classes at Unity Village, that's the way he started every class. All right, everybody, together. It's a beautiful day in my consciousness. Let's say it together. It's a beautiful day in my consciousness. The difference is not the day. The difference is in our judgment and choice about the day. There's a story some of you probably heard about a reporter interviewing baseball umpires, asking how they make those split-second decisions and calling balls and strikes. And the first umpire says, well, son, there's balls and there's strikes, and I call them the way I see them. And the second one says, well, there's balls and strikes, and I call them the way they are. And the third one says, well, son, there's balls and there's strikes, but they ain't nothing till I call them. And so here's the question of the day. How do we call our life events? How do we call them? Do we see the glass as half full or half empty? Do we say that roses have thorns or that thorn bushes have roses? Are we sure that those from different cultures are hardworking people, are criminals, terrorists, and drug dealers? If somebody cuts us off on the highway, do we react in anger or do we send them a blessing? Using judgment at the level of ego can often backfire on us, and we all know that. Not only that, and this is proven by statistics, it causes high blood pressure and ulcers for us to be in that kind of fret all the time. Jesus was very clear about this. He said, do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment. Right judgment meant spiritual judgment, looking past appearances, childhood messages, societal programming, all of that, to claim greater truths. The good news is every single one of us has the God-given innate power to judge rightly. It's in our spiritual DNA to see the Christ in ourselves and others, yes, all others. And when we do, when we're able to do that, we live in a consciousness of harmony and well-being that Jesus called the kingdom of heaven. So we now move from judgment to discernment, which is kind of the next stage of wisdom, and it's defined by Reverend Linda as our ability in decision-making not to rely exclusively on facts, but on spiritual principles. We exercise and suspend human judgment as we question, reflect, meditate, and envision divine ideas. We learn to live with the questions and wait for guidance. I'm going to stop for a minute. Steve, Steve must be asleep. Okay. Could you turn the air conditioner down a little bit? Down. It's high. I see people fanning, right? It's warm in here. Okay. All right, let's go back. You're more comfortable, you can listen better, right? We exercise and suspending judgments, human judgments, as we question, reflect, meditate, and envision divine ideas. We learn to live with the question and wait for the guidance to know what to do. Instead of knee-jerking, we allow that question time and space to percolate beyond our human consciousness. That's exactly what the First Unity Board of Trustees does with all of our decisions about the church. We follow that spiritual guidance, and we weigh decisions about what really are good, what aligns with our core values, and what are the principles of truth behind this decision. And this also works in our personal lives. So as we move from human judgment to spiritual discernment, and finally we move to the most amazing aspect of the power of wisdom. It is called intuition. This is what is sometimes called our aha, or uh-oh, don't go there ability, okay? Charles Fillmore says, tuition is a natural inner knowing. Again, the flash of spiritual truth without resorting to the intellect. It's not about your mind, it's about your heart. Through divine intuition, we have direct access to the wisdom of God, and this is called heart wisdom. It's the ability to go within and hear that still small voice of the divine. Gandhi said, God speaks to us every day, only we don't know how to listen. This kind of listening requires prayer, time in the silence, and practice. So how many of us, struggling with a problem or decision, read everything we can get our hands on, scan the entire internet, consult every single one of our friends, and then suddenly, seemingly out of the blue, an inspiration flashes into our minds? Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. That's called our sixth sense. It's an inner compass. And the thing is, our GPS, Our GPS might fail us, mine does sometimes in the highway, but our IGS, our internal guidance system, never will. Inspiration may come long after the prayer and meditation time is over. It might be an image, it might be a dream, it might be a snippet of conversation, or something you've heard on the radio. It might even be a sign you pass on the highway that you just think, this is my sign, now I know what to do. So one of my most profound moments of inspiration, I've told the story before, occurred at the Sea of Galilee when my husband and I were there. And we had just walked from the sea up to the mountain that's now called the Mount of the Beatitudes. And our tour guide asked us to stand in a certain spot where it was believed that Jesus stood when he delivered the Beatitudes to his disciples. So it was not a huge group, maybe 10 or 12 of us. We're standing there, and the tour guide said, I'm Jewish, and therefore I always find it's more powerful to find somebody who follows Jesus to read these. Who would volunteer to read these aloud? Well, I'm never the first one to volunteer. That's just not my personality. So I'm just standing there with everybody else, everybody trying to look invisible and not succeeding, And I was right with them, and all of a sudden, I swear, it felt like somebody pushed me forward, like just shoved me forward. And I looked at my husband, his hands were to his side. I thought, what is this? And I found the words coming out of my mouth, I'll read them. And my husband was shocked, because I said, that's not me. But I tell you, standing there, where it was believed that Jesus gave the Beatitudes, was my sign. That was my sign that it was mine to do to follow the ministry. I just felt this complete connection. And, your inspiration might not be quite that serious. It can be small things. It can be like, which job to take, what restaurant to eat. There are all sorts of ways it can go. But one of the most frequently asked questions, and I bet all of us have had this thought, one of the most frequently asked questions from our wisdom power is simply, simply how can I be sure that this is divine intuition and not my own human ego? Has anybody ever asked that? Did I think this is God telling me what to do because it's what I want to do? It's hard. So we've looked at this before, but Reverend Ellen Davenport addresses this issue, I think, beautifully in an article that you can still find entitled, God, Is That You Calling? And she writes, imagine your partner walking into the kitchen one day and saying, honey, I'm going to the lumber store. God told me to build an ark. The Bible, she says, makes it sound so easy. Moses had his burning bush. Adam and Eve met God strolling through the garden. Isaiah had visions, and Samuel heard God calling his name in the night. Jesus taught, however, that God is always present and God is within. So clearly those biblical visions about hearing God's voice can often represent intuition, that receptivity to that deep inner knowing. And whether it's an aha moment or whether it's from human ego, sometimes the only option is just to trust the voice, follow the guidance, and see what happens. But Ellen says mistakes and divine detours might be part of the journey. So you just have to be patient with that. She does suggest, however, some ways that we might discern whether our messages are truly divine. And I really like these. So these are paraphrased a little bit. If it's truly divine inspiration, it will work for the highest good of self and others, even if that's not immediately evident. Thinking spirit is calling us to harm others is not intuition, it's delusion. So that's one of them. Another one is, if it's divine inspiration, often, not always, but often, everything falls into place without a struggle. Doors open miraculously. The universe rushes to support us. Now, this doesn't mean we're going to see the whole picture all at once. It might be in incremental steps, but it does mean we're on the right path. Also, and this is an important one, divine intuition and inspiration brings anticipation, joy, and love. If it seems to be a struggle all the way, maybe it's not really yours to do. And finally, and I think this is the most important one, eventually we stop asking if we've heard God's voice. The question no longer has meaning for us. We simply know that we know. And the questions, is it I, is it God, seem redundant. It is I, it is God expressing as me. God and I are one. And so in the end, we surrender and we trust. and all unfolds in perfect divine order. So Reverend Allen says, God's voice may speak to us in a garden, thunder at us on a mountaintop, or call our names in the middle of the night, or whisper from within. But hearing the voice is useless unless we heed it, trust it, and step out in faith. In any decision we have to make, we can activate our amazing power of wisdom combined with love and ask for divine guidance, and divine guidance we will receive. We are on this earth to awaken to the truth of our being, to let the light of Spirit shine through us, directing our thoughts, words, and actions. And so as we activate this power of wisdom, integrated again with love, we set the intention to let that light shine, bringing much needed harmony, freedom, and joy to ourselves and the entire world. And so it is. So let's take a moment now to affirm the great truth about our God that makes all of this possible. This is being said in Unity churches all across the globe. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and at work in my life. God, the good, omnipotent, and so it is.
In the silence, there is a sacred space, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light, now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. Love is there. Peace is there. God is there.
And so I invite you now to close your outer eyes if you have not already done so, and that's comfortable. Take a deep cleansing breath. Hold it for a few seconds and then slowly, gently release. In this sacred moment, there is nothing in your head or in your life more important than experiencing the presence of God. And so as you continue breathing in and breathing out, release any worries, fears, or thoughts of lack. Just gently sweep them away. Feel the weight on your shoulders disappear. Feel any tension in your body relax and your mind clear. In this consciousness, feel the love and light of God surrounding you, enfolding you, expressing as you. Charles Fillmore told us when we awaken to the reality of our being, the light begins to break upon us, and we know the truth that Jesus taught. You are the light. The light is within you. You are the light of the world. So now we move toward connecting to that deep inner place where our hearts and souls know without a shadow of a doubt that we are one with the Most High. The omnipresence of God and the whole of Spirit is present in its entirety at every point of the universe. And that means there will never be any distance between God and you. You have all you need within to solve life's problems, manifest your desires, and live from your true identity. Your light shines and illuminates your way, revealing whatever needs to be revealed and healing whatever needs to be healed. So I invite you to take a moment now to move your consciousness from your intellect to your heart, if you haven't already done so. In the mind, we analyze and judge. In the heart, we know. So slowly, gently take that 18-inch journey that Sig Paulson called the most important journey of your life. Feel your consciousness moving from your head to your heart. Breathing in and breathing out, you will discover greater truths. Greater truths are revealed from the heart. Now feel a bright yellow light connecting to your heart space with your solar plexus in the upper area of your stomach. And know that divine wisdom and right judgment are within you, guiding you, inspiring you, and leading you to your ever unfolding good. You don't need to worry about any decision or action. You can trust and follow your heart. If you have a desire today, a challenge in your life, or a problem that needs a solution, prepare to take a few moments to take that into the silence. Divine guidance is right now revealing your answers. New thoughts and creative ideas are pouring forth. Just open your heart and listen for a few moments now in the silence. And so now, as we come back together, just know that this doesn't end here. Through your day and through your week ahead, signs and signals will continue to manifest. In divine wisdom, trust and follow your inner voice. Know that the light of God is always leading you onward, upward. Set the intention now to be compassionate with yourself and release the temptation to judge others harshly. In the midst of any outward conflicts, we are able to look past appearances and to stay centered in the peace and wisdom that we are. You are the light of the world. Let your light shine. And so it is, and so we joyously allow it to be. In and through the power of the Christ, we say thank you, God. Amen.
So this song takes place in an environment we don't get to visit very much. It takes place inside of an ant colony. Some of the smallest creatures we see, although the community is one of the biggest. And in this song, the queen ant is talking to the youngest members of her community, because the next day these very young ants are going out into the world for the first time, and they're very unsure of themselves, shaking a little bit. And the queen is sharing her wisdom and her encouragement to them. Then a little bit later, the young ants start registering their concerns, and she reassures them again. If you feel small amid the world where everything is big, remember what we have in us. We're bigger than we think. So find your heart. Yes, find your heart. Just find your heart and you'll do fine. what if it rains and we get scared? What then? What then? What now? Just find your heart. Yes, find your heart. Just find your heart and you'll do fine.
Okay, Brian, I'll never look at an ant the same way again. That was very good. Very good. I think it wasn't just about ants either. So, right. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it so much. So now is that time in our service where we just get to pause, reflect, and give thanks for our many blessings. We appreciate your financial donations as we do use them to keep our lights on and the doors open, and more importantly, to fulfill our mission of just enriching more and more lives. For those of you in the house, there's a box for tithes and offerings in the back. And streamers, we want to thank you for donating via Apple Pay, Google Pay, or PayPal, and everyone can donate that way. Just hit the donate button on udstl.org or on our YouTube channel. So knowing that we're one with Divine Source and with one another, would you please join me in our prosperity prayer? Now we'll see how well you all can see it, but I can't see it today, but I got it. So here we go. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We affirm that God is our source, and we are grateful for prosperity in our personal lives and in our spiritual community. So now I invite everyone to stand, if you're willing and able, for our prayer for protection. Together. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. The presence indwells us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So if you'll remain standing for a few moments, just thank you all for coming today on this holiday weekend. It's so good to have you. As a vibrant, inclusive spiritual community, we come together in oneness of spirit to support one another and express godness and goodness in the world. So our service ends today with our final community song, Love is Light. Is that what we're singing? Let's see. I live in the kingdom of light. That's right. Our little monitor is kind of crashed today, so I can't see what's going on, but you all can, so that's good. And I'd like to thank Julie for being our song leader and Steve for assisting. Thank you both.
I live in the kingdom of light, the kingdom of wisdom and love, the kingdom of order, the kingdom of justice. I live in the kingdom of light. I live in the kingdom of life, the kingdom of power and love, the kingdom of rightness, the kingdom of gladness. I live in the kingdom of life. I live in the kingdom of God, the kingdom of peace and of love, the kingdom of beauty, the kingdom of plenty. I live in the kingdom of God.